My colleague, the Deputy Minister, the Chief Director, Service Chiefs, Directors, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all of us. I know people will be wondering, why will you want to hold a press conference on a Friday late afternoon? But it has become very necessary because we are going to start this process very soon, and we needed to do this briefing. Before I start, let us take a minute silent to remember the departed souls who lost their lives during this week's Armed Forces recruitment exercise. Can we kindly be upstanding so that we'll observe a minute's silence in their memory? May their souls rest in perfect peace. Thank you so much. Please kindly take your seat. I wish to extend my condolences to the bereaved families and that of government. To those who are injured and are still receiving treatment, we wish them a very speedy recovery. We pray that the Almighty God comforts the families of the deceased and grant them the strength to bear this loss. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, the Ministry of Interior advertised in the national dailies on the 5th of November 2025 about the ministry's plan to recruit into the internal security services, namely the Ghana Police, Ghana Immigration Service, Ghana National Fire Service, and the Ghana Prison Service with narcotics control. The advertisement indicated that application forms will be available on the 15th of November 2025, which is tomorrow. However, in the light of the unfortunate incident that occurred on Wednesday during the Armed Forces recruitment process, the Ministry of Interior, in consultation with the security chiefs, has decided to postpone the start date of the application from the 15th, which is tomorrow, Saturday, to Monday, November 17th, 2025, as a mark of respect to the bereaved families and those who were injured. Ladies and gentlemen, unemployment is a challenge that our country is facing, and the government is committed to addressing it through various initiatives, including recruitment into the security services. This recruitment exercise is a significant step towards creating job opportunity for our young people, and we believe it will go a long way in reducing unemployment in our country, and also as in line with the promise of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the 2024 election. By recruiting into the internal security services, we are not only creating jobs, but also equipping our young people with the skills and training necessary to contribute to the development of our nation. This will have a positive impact on the economy and help to improve the standard of living of our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, our hope is to have a very seamless recruitment exercise. The following measures, among others, have been put in place to ensure that the process is smooth and safe before, during, and after. 1. The application process will begin on Monday, November 17, 2025. It will be published in the national dailies on the ministries and each agency's website and on social media platforms. There are two major channels to purchase application voucher. Honorable Minister for Government Communication, the Ministry of Interior is working to make sure that everything that we do in that ministry move from paper to paperless. In line with that, at the comfort of your home, probably for the first time, you can start the process and finish with your mobile phone. Via the USSD dial code, which will be published hopefully by Sunday, because we don't want for lack of better words, a rush. So we'll publish that on Sunday, just before the Monday. The details of the web address and the USSD shortcode details will be in publication, like I said, on Sunday. The system we are developing is robust, centralized e-recruitment portal, and an initiative implemented to ensure harmonization and standardization of the conduct of the recruitment across various agencies under the Ministry of Interior. This process will enable every applicant to monitor and follow through the process right from the beginning till you are admitted into the training school. So you can monitor the progress of your application. When you will be called for particular exercise, if it is screening, you know through your phone. You don't need to be told by another person because you've applied. When you are to apply, when you are to appear for medicals, you'll be told if you qualify to the next stage. When you are writing what test, all those things you can monitor from your phone. But we also acknowledge network is not same across our country. There may be some areas where genuinely network issues may be a challenge. And we do not want to disadvantage anybody. So because of that, we've opened another window where you can get the voucher through any Ghana Commercial Bank branch nationwide and Ghana Post branches across the country in areas where network is a problem. But if you are in an area where your network is good and you have your mobile money account or even the mobile money account of any person, you can easily do this similarly on your phone without necessarily having to walk even to your veranda. The application process will be seamless and online, utilizing the robust and secure platform designed to handle a large volume of application efficiently. The online portal is very user-friendly and easy to navigate. Even those of us who struggle with IT, in fact, I could go through it easily. So I can imagine after the Gen Zs, that one will be a very smooth and easy exercise for them, allowing you to apply from the comfort of your home without any stress. The portal will be accessible on multiple devices, including smartphones, tablets, and computers. Multiple centers will be available for screening applicants. In fact, one of the challenges that we have tried to use to even revise our strategy is the incident that unfortunately happened. We are trying to say, for example, in Accra, where we expect to have very large numbers, we are looking at possibly using between 10 to 15 centers a day, so that we'll make sure that there's no overcrowding at all. The centers will be strategically located across the country to ensure accessibility and convenience for all applicants. Very importantly, this exercise is going to be regionally based, so everybody can do it from your region, and depending on the size of the numbers that we get, in each region we could have up to 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 centers happening on the same time, just to avoid a situation where they will be overcrowded. Several phone numbers will be provided on the portal for assistance. So operational 24/7. Whether you apply for Ghana Police Service or the Prison Service or Immigration or even Ghana Prison Service, there will be numbers that will be provided so that if you have difficulty, you can call, and it will be 24/7. Our dedicated team will be available to answer your question and provide support throughout the application process. The system will automatically allocate applicants to screening centers. So, for example, we have decided that every screening center should not screen more than 1,000 a day. And even the 1,000, you screen 500 in the morning and screen 500 in the afternoon. So if you are for afternoon and you decide to rush in the morning, that itself becomes basis for disqualification, because then you want to be a security person, but you don't want to comply with rules. So if you are scheduled for afternoon, say Legon Stadium for afternoon, Afternoon starts from 12, after 12 noon. And then you come there at 11:50. That becomes basis for us to disqualify you because you don't want to comply with the rules. So the system will automatically allocate. So if you apply from, say, Tamale, and Tamale has maybe 3 centers, say maybe Tamale Secondary School, School Park, the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium, and probably, say, Ghana Secondary School Park, and you have to go there in the morning, it will show you, let's say you are in Tamale and you have these 3 centers, the system will automatically assign you to Tamale Secondary School or Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium or Ghana Secondary School, School Park, automatically. And to also designate whether you are going in for the morning or you are going for afternoon. So we want applicants to pay serious attention to every information that they have so that they do not go and get themselves unnecessarily disqualified because they couldn't follow simple instructions. To avoid overcrowding and unforeseen situations, the screening exercise will be done in turns. The police service will complete its screening before another agency starts its screening, ensuring no congestion. So this is what we are going to do. So let's say the portal is going to open from 17th November to 15th December 2025. After the portal is closed, we will set a date for screening. We will not want a situation where fire service is doing it at the same time with Ghana Immigration Service and police, so that the chaos. So what we'll simply do is that all across the country, same day, police will be doing it. They'll be doing the screening, and when they are done, then fire service may come on, then probably Ghana Prison Service, and then immigration. So we'll announce all that, and you will see that on your portal. And we know a lot of young men in our country may want an opportunity to say that, okay, my first option is to join Ghana Prison Service. What if I don't get? Maybe I may be able to qualify for Ghana Police or Ghana Immigration. So the options are there to enable our young people to be able to try their choice of maybe 1 or 2 or 3 as they may wish. Honorable Minister, let me emphasize that the recruitment process will be free and fair. The system will select qualified candidates based on merit. It's not true that already banned, as some have claimed. I can tell you on my honor, and I can assure you that under the watch of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, this will not happen. Nothing has started. Nobody in this service today will call or anybody call to tell you that there's some other route that can be used to get to this recruitment. If you have those, we are going to create possible lines where you can make complaint, and even if you have recordings of people who call to claim to assist or have one way or the other by you paying some monies, if you give us, we'll be able to track them and be able to deal with perpetrators. We have broadened the scope, as many of you might have checked in our publication, where for graduates and professionals and even ordinary recruits, we've moved the age to 30. And for craftsmen, for the first time, probably, for a very long period of time, for the first time in many, many years, now we are focusing on craftsmen, where we are looking for electricians, we are looking for painters, we are looking for carpenters, we are looking for fitters, and what have you. And the qualification there, BEC, MVTI, City and Girls, and the others. So broaden the base, and the age is 35. So with this, we want to believe that if you are not qualified with all these criteria, then I'm sorry, I'm sure even God may not want to help you. So there will be nothing like, oh, just don't apply. There's a route that we can get to the minister or this thing. I have been cautioned seriously by His Excellency the President, and I will not want, because of somebody, I should suffer the fate of getting to be accused of doing the wrong thing. So please, the only way you can get through is through applying and going through the process. That is an assurance coming from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and we want the young people of our country to take this very seriously and don't rely on anybody assuring you that he can get you through any other means rather than applying through the process. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to reassure the public that we are committed to transparency and accountability throughout the recruitment process. We will ensure that all applicants are treated with dignity and respect, and that the process is conducted in a fair and impartial manner. To our young people, I say that this is an opportunity to serve your country and make a difference in the life of others. We encourage all eligible Ghanaians to take advantage of this opportunity and join the internal security services. We are looking for talented, dedicated, and patriotic individuals who are committed to serving their country. If you are qualified and interested, please apply. This is a great opportunity to join a noble profession and contribute to the development of our nation. We are looking for you, and we believe that you have what it takes to make a difference. In conclusion, I want to thank the security agencies for their cooperation and support as we begin the recruitment process. I also want to thank the public for their And I want to assure you that under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we will do everything humanly possible to make sure that this process, the right people get into the training. Take that from us, and I can assure you that we'll do everything to ensure that. The lady was asking whether the recruitment is going to be for the services, all of them the same day. I thought I had said that even earlier. Because of the sheer numbers, we don't want a situation where Ghana Prison Service is having it the same day with Ghana, say, National Fire Service. Currently, the people have not applied, so we may not know the numbers. But it may be possible, for example, let's say in maybe Northeast, let me use that as an example, or say OT region. The total applicants from the region for Ghana Police, maybe it's 3,000. The Ghana Prison Service, 500. And Ghana Immigration Service, maybe 300. And then maybe the others, 200. When you put all together, you have just about 4,000. So with that, you may have that some of the days, a number of the services will be doing the same. The only thing we want to avoid is that we will not want any center to try to screen more than 1,000 a day. And we will not want a session like from morning, say if they are starting at 7 to about 12, to claim that they can do more than 500. Yes, there may be situations where, depending on the facility. Let me give an example. If you take our stadia, and then maybe a typical one that is closer to us, the Ohinejan or Accra Sports Stadium, that has several entrances. The security personnel are many. They could say that, look, we have 40 gates. Can we make sure that from this number to that number, you come through this gate and you go to a particular table for the screening? Meaning that with the kind of Accra Sports Stadium, 500 people could be screened in 2 hours. Even with that, I'm insisting that with them, let's not do more than 500 a day so that we avoid, because it's not sometimes, it's not even the inside that creates a problem, the outside. So we are trying to make sure that no center will try, no matter what they will put, measures they will put in place, to pretend that they can do more than 1,000 a day. No. We rather prefer to use 10 days in doing a particular screening than to say that you want to finish it in 2 days and therefore try to create a problem. We will not want to do that. We restrict ourselves. We've told ourselves we may not know the numbers that may be coming, but let's say we all always know that anytime there's recruitment, the police usually get huge numbers. So let's say police in Accra alone get, say, 30,000. And they have to do 1,000 at a center. We would rather prefer to look for more centers to say that maybe instead of our target of trying to get 15 centers, can we get 20 centers so that we are sure that they are able to do 20,000 in a day? Rather than to say that, oh, this center is big, so because the center is big, can 3,000 people go there? No. We are restricting ourselves to 1,000 a day, 500 per section, so that it will be seamless, so that it will be easier for our young people to go there without stress. And I've also asked, and I'm even been told that the police in the past used to do that. Say, look, let's treat our citizens with decency and dignity. So we intend to provide canopies, we intend to provide chairs, so that people who come for the screening will not just come and be standing in the scorching sun, but we'll try and make sure that there are seats where they can sit. And we are even talking, because today, graciously, the Ghana Prison Service has partnered a private person, they are producing water. And we are saying that let's get water and maybe chill it and give it to even our compatriots. So we are trying to learn from our own mistakes and the mistakes of others to make sure that this exercise is seamless. And the last one has to do with whether we want to learn anything from the previous statement of the minister. Fine, I can't authenticate that. But the difficulty that I have is that, is there any other way you can do body selection or check people's body system apart from doing body selection? If there is, why not? We'll exploit it. If there's any other way that you can check the physique, because sometimes large cars create problem. There are a number of ailments that sometimes through the, just even body selection, you'll be able to detect and all that. We will discuss that, and if there's a need for us to devise some other method to do it, one will do it. But for now, there will be body selection. Thank you so much.
Any other person, please step forward. Please keep it short. No length. If there are any others, I encourage you to come forward. After these two, we will not take any other one of questions. Three. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Michael Ado. I work with Metro Television. I would like to find out that will it be possible for the ministry and government to adapt a proposal that recruitment is done all year? Recruitment is done all year round to avoid crowding.
Thank you very much, Honorable. My name is George Austin Vinay, and I report for Pan-African Television. Honorable, in your submission, I did hear that you want to do the morning and then afternoon shift. I just want to find out what happens if in the morning shift we have a backlog. Are they still going to feature into the afternoon session? That's one. Two, there's this notion that government of the day actually knows the total number of personnel that they need into the service across board. But they end up opening up the application, and then at the end of the day, they have their total number that they have to absorb. I just want to get your response. What do you make out of the notion that if indeed government of the day knows that we need 10,000 personnel into the service, therefore the portal should be open to only 10,000? Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Adnan Adams. I report for News Guide Africa. Honorable, as a member of Parliament and also the Minister for Interior, public safety actually is one of your concern. And looking at the situation that just happened, it being also a public safety situation, and I was just to seek your opinion if as well you can also raise it in the floor of Parliament, if compensation could be given to the victims of the incident that just happened 2 days ago. Secondly, with the okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Because I'm a member of Parliament, that's what I was just thinking. Anyway, okay. So with the situation of forms, when applicants buy forms and they are not selected, some are just rejected right away, like as happened in the army recruitment. Right after applying, if you don't meet certain criteria, you are rejected. The issue of refund of application fees, is it possible?
Thank you very much. One of the interesting things is that I'm sure when the portal opens, and like I said, it's I saw it, very easy to follow. And you see each category, the basic requirement is there. Above and what we publish on the website before you apply, I've seen it, it takes you through the stages. And the tail end, and they're now ready to apply. Meaning that you've gone through it very well. So let's assume, the portal is going to open, like I mentioned earlier, even professionals. This is not exceeding 35. I don't need an ND. You don't need an ND to tell you I'm more than 35. Then I still go and apply. Then I'm coming to talk about refund. The criteria is there, saying that these are the criteria. You've read it. You still maybe tried, thinking that maybe you can do try and error. Please, take your time and read which section you are qualified for. Because sometimes people, let's say I'm a auto mechanic. So I qualify for the, the craftsman section. Then I go to open a portal for professionals, like accountants, doctors, lawyers. And then I try and put it there. Then tomorrow I'll go and start and say that, they said that even auto mechanics cover, but when I put my design, it made me disqualified because you've gone to pick the wrong section. So we want to plead with our citizens that don't be in a hurry to apply, because there's this also notion that if you apply within the first 2 days, you qualify. No, The portal is said that it is IA driven. Whether you apply on the 17th or you apply on the 15th of December, it is going to treat all of you same. Yes, probably the only difference will be that if, let's say, you are in Accra and we are going to have like 15 centers, and maybe the centers we've categorized, for lack of better example, Tesano Police Training as number 1, Accra Sports Stadium as number 2, Legon Sports Stadium as number 3, Botoman Sports Complex as number 4. And it's going to be alerting. I've been pushing people. So after the first 1,000, it says that, Tesano is full. So it will push you to Legon or Accra Sports Stadium. Apart from that, I don't see the need to say that I want to rush and apply the first day, because if the first day I don't get, it's lost. And that pushed me to the other question that was asked. Government knows that they can take only 10,000. Why do you keep the portal open for 15,000, 20,000? The interesting thing is that my colleague, the Minister for Government Communications, said, as we stand here, we don't know how many we are going to take. We know that we are going to take people into the services, but we are trying to see how many people will even qualify. But let's even assume that I know that I'm going to have 10,000, and I close the portal at 10,000. Remember, I have to go for body selection, I have to go for tests, I have to go for medicals, and all that. If I'm not careful, I'll have to reopen the portal. Because if I take only 10,000, definitely maybe some people may not pass the test, some people may not pass the exams, some people may not pass the medical examination, some people may not pass the body selection. How do I just take 10,000? I will not be able to know this. So that's why you have to also keep it as an opportunity for everybody. Because one of the things that I know may end up happening is that at the tail end, when we now know that those who have qualified all the stages and are now ready to be trained, let's say if they are 15,000, and maybe government was originally thinking that he wants to take 12,000 or 13,000. If there are just 2 more thousand, why not add them? It can happen. But if government decides that he wants to take 10,000, and even 30,000 people apply, I don't know the screening, government has only 8,000 that are qualified for training. They'll say that let this 8,000 go, and then let's reopen for, the others to also come in. Why are we not going to be doing them all year round? I mean, that would mean the security services will virtually come to a halt. You cannot be doing the exercise all year round, so that every month people just apply. No, there's no way they do it that way, where you do it all year round. The only probable thing I think maybe the questioner may want to ask was maybe to say, just thinking for him, can't we do the recruitment every year so that we don't leave a huge backlog, so that young people may want to come, and maybe for 5 years no recruitment has happened? That's why now a lot of people are rushing in. That hinges on so many things, because the spaces for security persons is not endless. If you look at they have what they call established post. So because they have the established post, if there can be only one IGP, there can be only one chief fire officer, there can be only one director general prisons, and there can be only one comptroller. So you cannot just go looking for comptroller when there's already one. If there's no space to take individuals and you bring them on board, even workspace where they will sit and work becomes a problem. But I can assure you, and I know His Excellency President Mahama has made this promise, we will do everything humanly possible to restructure and retool our security services so that they'll be able to serve us better. If that requires that every year we have to recruit, I know His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will do. But if there's no need for it, obviously it is not just about recruiting people for recruiting's sake. You have to have the need for the recruits before you go ahead and recruit. I want to thank all of you for the opportunity to have this interaction, and we pray that this process goes on very seamless, so that in about a month time, when we come to report about the numbers and all those things, there will not be any reason to regret that one thing or the other had gone wrong. Thank you so much and have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that brief but concise presentation. So we'll bring this session to a close at this juncture. Thank you all for coming.